Hi,
Hi,
how are you?
I'm very well, and you?
Good. So I have a few questions about you and your business.
Sure.
So, firstly, can you tell me about yourself and your business as a whole?
Sure. My name is Igor. I'm the CEO of this company. It's called Fitness Solutions Plus. We have two sides of the business. One is we help corporations improve employee productivity, absenteeism, improve morale, etc., and decrease insurance premiums. All things that help them with basically the bottom line, productivity of all these things. That's on the corporate side of things. On the personal side of things, we help busy executives and professionals improve their energy, improve their fitness levels, decrease risk for chronic conditions, and so on. So there's both sides of things. How do we do that? It's a combination of education on the corporate side of things. So we do either lunch and learns or full day wellness seminars or even weekend retreats that help with team building, that help with morale, these things. On the personal side of things, when we're working one-on-one with clients, what we do is we help them with their exercise. We design a customized exercise program based on a thorough assessment, in addition to nutrition plan and supplementation program.
How did the idea become a reality?
I think it's pretty much like a lot of entrepreneurs, maybe not all, but certainly a lot. I was working, I shouldn't say the place, but I was working at a place where I really did not like my boss, and so I decided to go out on my own. It was very scary because I had a background in kinesiology, no training in sales and marketing, so I had made the error thinking that, okay, I'm a good personal trainer, clients will come by themselves. The first year they didn't. I was getting a lot of referrals with my place of work, and I thought that would continue once I'm no longer there. Unfortunately, it didn't. Not knowing much about sales and marketing, first year was a little tough. After that, it got a lot easier to the point where I'm at today.
Mm-hmm. What do you love most about your job? And about
I think I love every minute of it. From the moment I wake up and I look at my schedule, I'm seeing what I have planned throughout the day, whether it's working one-on-one with clients, or if I'm giving a talk at RBC or CIBC or any other big corporation or even small group. It's all exciting to me. So if I had to pick one thing I like the most, it's tough because it's all good. I like it all.
Is there anything you hate?
There are a few things I hate. It's sometimes tough when you're working with a company and to get a deal going. So unfortunately, I have enough deals that I don't need to follow up with the company. But it is frustrating sometimes when the follow up doesn't happen the way I'd like it to, or when when you need to. Unfortunately, you have to let staff go. That happens occasionally. Fortunately, that's not very frequent, and most of the people I work with I like very much.
Is there anything you would have done differently when you just started out?
Yes. If I knew then what I know now, I could have gotten to where I am much faster. First of all, from a marketing perspective, I would have started public speaking properly way earlier in my career. I also would have started my mailing list way earlier in my career. I waited probably about a year and a half to start my newsletter, my mailing list. Now I have about 1,600 subscribers. If I had started that a year earlier, I might have had about 2,500 subscribers. Furthermore, public speaking, I've done over 120 talks. Mm-hmm. So it's a lot of talks. The first 40 yielded absolutely no results whatsoever, which was frustrating. So it was a matter of tweaking, testing, seeing what worked, incorporating that, keeping that, seeing what didn't work, abandoning that. So, like I said, if I knew 4 years ago what I know now, I can't imagine where I would be today.
You mentioned that you do public speaking, and I know you wrote a book. Tell me about that.
So I actually wrote 3 books. The first book was co-authored with 9 other people. It's called Interviews with Top Personal Trainers. So the publishing company of that book, they interviewed me, they sent me a list of questions that basically I always get asked anyway, that the consumer wants to know. And I just answered those in a friendly Q&A format. They sent different questions to different authors, and once that book came out, I found out I was the only Canadian personal trainer chosen for that book, Interviews with Top Personal Trainers. My second book is called Unlimited Progress, How You Can Unlock Your Body's Potential. What is that about? That one is primarily for athletes, although a layperson also benefits from it. So we know if a person gets on an exercise program, it's going to work for between 3 and 10 weeks. That's approximately the shelf life of an exercise program. After that, it stops working. So you can stay on the same program, but you won't see additional results, which can be very frustrating. Now, you know you should change your program, but what do you change? How do you change it? After all, your body isn't like anybody else's body. What works for your friends, your parents, your siblings, etc., may not work for you. Okay, so this book helps you identify precisely what it is about you that makes you unique. It gives you a lot, actually several hundred low-tech, high-effectiveness, high-accuracy tests that help you design new programs and make, as the title implies, unlimited progress to continue progressing in speed or strength, power or flexibility or aerobic endurance in any given fitness quality. It lists 11 different fitness qualities, and it gives you specific step-by-step tests, low-tech, doesn't require going to a laboratory, and getting tested. So that's what my second book is about. The most recent book is called Stop Exercising the Way You Are Doing It Now. My publisher told me to say it that way, with a pause in there. Stop Exercising the Way You Are Doing It Now. What is that about? Well, most of our clients are busy executives and professionals, typically in the age ranges of 40 to 60, high-stress jobs, long hours, very little time for exercise, probably other extracurricular activities with their kids, driving the kids around everywhere, and so on. The biggest complaint we get from that age group is, I'm already exercising, I'm already eating right, then why can't I lose this belly fat or this arms fat, back of the arms, flabby arms, you know? Why don't I have more energy? I feel like I should have more energy given what I'm eating and how much I'm exercising. So most people we find are exercising incorrectly. They are screwing up their hormones, they're screwing up their joints, and long term they drop out of their exercise program. So that's why it's called what it is, Stop Exercising the Way You're Doing It Now.
What makes your gym so unique? Why should I come exercise with you rather than the other gyms out there in Toronto?
We are not a gym. We are a personal training company, so there is no single location you can go to train by yourself. We set a person up with a personal trainer for a number of reasons. One is it improves compliance. For one thing, you as an accountant, a lawyer, an engineer, a busy professional, probably do not have the time, the energy, or the desire to learn enough material about physiology, biomechanics, and endocrinology to design your own effective exercise program. Now, of course, if what you're doing right now is already working, keep it up. No reason to change. But if you're frustrated by what you're doing, take 4 years to research it, become a kinesiologist, or just pay somebody else who already has that stuff to do it for you. So that's one reason to work with a professional. The other reason to work specifically with our professionals, there are many. Individualization, that's key. So whenever we get started working with a client, we make them take a 321 symptom questionnaire to assess what's going on in their body. It's thorough. What are those 321 symptom questions looking at? They're looking at 16 different body systems, including your upper gastrointestinal system, like your stomach, liver and gallbladder, immune system, blood sugar regulating system, adrenal system, hormonal system, and others. Okay, that's part one. Okay, there are 2 more parts. The second part is an interpretation of your goals and your exercise history. So what are your goals? Are you trying to get more energy, lose weight, fit into a certain dress by a certain deadline, by your wedding, by your anniversary, by your vacation, whatever? And what are you currently doing to get you from where you are to where you want to be? Then we ask a series of questions that kick a person's butt. We want to know what motivates our clients. And what buttons do we have to push to get them to work that much harder? Because it's one thing knowing what you should be doing, it's another thing doing it. Once we know what motivates our clients, and once they themselves know what motivates them, because we ask 8 specific questions that they've never been asked before that really drives their motivation up, we're able to get much better results than our competition. And then part 3, we do a body composition test. What is that? We look at your muscle mass and your fat mass. Okay, if those are indeed your goals, if you're happy with your body composition, we don't test that. But if you're not, if you want to improve your arms, your legs, your stomach, your back, and so on, we will assess that. Okay, based on that, we determine what should be your exercise program. Because if the highest area where you store body fat is your belly, that's going to be different than if it's your buttocks and thighs. So different people require different approaches. 7 billion different people on the planet, 7 billion different appropriate exercise, nutrition, supplementation programs. So there's no cookie cutter. So that's one thing that differentiates us, individualization and customization. Number 2 is education. Now, In the personal training industry, to become a personal trainer requires a weekend certification. Sometimes you can do it over the internet. Sometimes it's actually in person. Now, would you trust a person who only has 3 days of experience as a personal trainer, or 3 days of education as a personal trainer? Would you trust that person with your body?
Probably not.
I wouldn't either. That's why our professionals have much more than that. Most of us have either a 4-year degree or a 2-year diploma from a university or a college. But we don't stop there. We take professional development very seriously. We have a serious hunger for knowledge. So we take at least 2 professional development courses per year. We attend conferences, we attend workshops, we take additional classes, and so on. The other thing we have is probably one of the highest standards for personal trainers. At certain gym, at most gyms, trainers don't get paid very much. At our company, trainers get paid more than at any other personal training company, so they take it seriously, accordingly. Okay? Now, there are 16 different criteria that we look for before we hire a personal trainer. Okay? There is also a 2-hour test they must pass to become a personal trainer for our company. They also must report back to us every month on how each individual client is doing. Okay, so we take our clients' progress, we take customer service extremely seriously. Okay, now I had a trainer who I was interviewing. There's a very high-end gym in Toronto. I'll omit its name, but it takes 9 interviews with them to become a personal trainer. And I was interviewing him to become a trainer with my company. He says my 1 interview is tougher than their 9 combined.
Wow.
So yeah, I don't know of any other company that hires their trainers that selectively and that thoroughly, and then takes specific steps to ensure that their performance doesn't drop. In fact, that it continues to improve, that we stay ahead of the industry. So that's the 2 very big things that separate us from our competitors on the consumer side of things. On the corporate side of things, what do we do differently compared to other speakers? We have a very holistic approach, in the sense that personal trainers are very good, some of them, because not a lot of them, very good at the exercise side of things, but they don't know much about clinical nutrition and supplementation. So for example, if somebody comes to you with diabetes or arthritis or osteoporosis, they don't really know how to modify your exercise or nutrition to accommodate for that. Or if you're not sleeping well, they don't know how to accommodate for that. Nutritionists and naturopaths are very good at nutrition and supplementation, but not the exercise side of things. We combine all 3. Okay, so you get an integrated picture of how exercise interacts with nutrition, interacts with supplementation. So it's a very holistic view. So you have much more complete information, not just a little tidbit here, tidbit there. You have the full package you need to make changes immediately after our talk. That's one thing that differentiates us on the corporate side of things. The other thing is that we're entertaining. So it's good to have great information, but if it's boring, it's going to be forgotten almost as soon as the speaker is out of the room. So we'll throw in a joke, we will interact with our audience, we'll give them practical examples of what to do and connect it to real life. So it makes it practical and it's interactive. So we don't talk at you, we talk with you. We talk with our audience. It helps them retain the information better and therefore apply their changes better. This way, we see better changes in terms of productivity, absenteeism, insurance costs, and all these things.
Mm-hmm. What is the future of your business, and where do you see yourself in 10 years?
In 10 years, world domination? No, I'm just kidding. The future of my business, what I'd like to do is I would like to see my company have 50 personal trainers all over the Greater Toronto area, and I would like to continue doing my speaking engagements, but on an even larger scale. So I'm already doing between 3 and 6 public speaking engagements per month. My schedule is almost completely booked. Now, I don't have a lot of space for additional clients, but I'd like to be very selective about who I work with. I'm already very selective, but I'd like to take that a step up. Now, seriously, in terms of 10 years, what I'd like to do is, my goal is to help 10,000 people per year. How do we do that? Through our public speaking engagements and continuing with personal training. Each person touches a few other people, their family, their immediate friends, their coworkers, people they see every day. If they see this person's improving, it makes them want to improve themselves. So our mission is more healthier people in a fitter Ontario and Toronto.
Great. Thank you.
My pleasure.